Position up at the front end of the field. He is currently looking at a top 5 position through the points rankings. It's been looking very good for him. But how about this boy? The Phoenix from the Flames, Alexander Bondarev from Kart Republic Motorsport. 3 wins so far this weekend, looking for number 4 and certainly looking very strong in 2023. He is absolutely on the crest of a wave at the moment. Second on the grid, looking good for it. However, Mies Huben and Jack Eilef are right with him on the second row of the starting grid. They both want to take some points off him this time, as does the Italian Ludovico Busso. 10 laps around the circuit once again here at Cremona. And at the end of this race, every driver in the junior brigade will have just one race, to complete before we get to the superheats tomorrow morning. Nicolas Schaufler and Alexander Bondarev, Mies Huben and Jack Eilef, Ludovico Busso and Tiziano Monza from Sebastian Lettmarki and Oliver Kinmark, then Salim Hanna and Ethan Lennon from Alphonse Miettinen and Marius Barryberg, Zach Drummond and Zhao Yushun, and then it is Thomas Gender and Bennett Gaspar. Are we going to go racing this time by? We are! And a great start from Schaufler. No problems at all. Huben is going to run with him. Bondarev right round the outside, full of confidence as he holds second position. No major problems there. Up the inside, Huben tried to have a look. Not going to happen. So Bondarev follows through in second place behind Schaufler as a couple of drivers take to the grass. Is everybody going to get through? No, they're not. No. 4 or 5 karts involved in that one. That is one of the Forzas. That's the 15 that's gone. So that is Ethan Lennon. Also in there, the 34 of Marius Barryberg, the privateer. The 144 of Dan Kelleher. And Thomas Gender in the Forza as well. Big names to go. And Bondarev has already taken the lead from Schaufler.
Yeah, Bondarev taken the lead, and he is now going to try his best to drive away now from Schaufler. Schaufler, though, instantly on the attack. He does not want Bondarev to get away, and he'll have the slipstream here. One of the karts going a little bit wide out of the corner. It's one of the Paralins. It looked like Zach Drummond to me that was running wide. But across the start-finish line, Bondarev leads from Schaufler, Monza, Huben, Busso, Kinmark, Eilef, Hanna. Then it's Lettmarki, Mitter and Drummond who's down into P11. But again, as everyone just trying to find their way through the part of the track, it's all going swimmingly well so far for the front runners, but Bondarev here in the lead, starting to drive away.
But it's a terrific opening lap from Tiziano Monza to move his way up from 6th on the grid to 3rd. The Paralin driver absolutely on it. Now Mies Huben's trying to get up the inside. No, you don't, says Tiziano Monza. Holds on to it and manages to maintain 3rd position. He actually backs Mies Huben into the path of Ludovico Busso. So Busso is now going to try and make his bid to get up the inside, which he does. Well, Mies Huben goes for Monza, gets through on Monza. So Monza down to 4th position for the time being. A big slide at the inside from one of the Ricky Flynns. That is Salim Hanna getting through on Oliver Kinmark. So as they go down the straight, it looks like Jack Eilef's going to make the bid on the inside of Monza. And Eilef gets there. Monza lets him go. Very smart. Decides to now tag in behind Jack Eilef. He knows that Eilef is pretty quick. So if he can work with his Paralin opposition, he can actually try and get back onto the tail of Mies Huben once again, and they can start the duel all over again. So Kinmark there in 6th.
Well, that was brave from Mies Huben as well to go down the same corner that he had a cropper with a Paralin driver earlier on in the weekend. But this time around, it's all worked out relatively well for him. Checks over the shoulder, and he is driving away there.
Straight, it looks like Jack Eilef's going to make the bid on the inside of Monza, and Eilef gets there. Monza lets him go. Very smart. Decides to now tag in behind Jack Eilef. He knows that Eilef is pretty quick. So if he can work with his Paralin opposition, he can actually try and get back onto the tail of Mies Huben once again, and they can start the duel all over again. So Kinmark there in 6th.
Well, that was brave from Mies Huben as well to go down the same corner that he had a cropper with a Paralin driver earlier on in the weekend. But this time around, it's all worked out relatively well for him. Checks over the shoulder, and he is driving away there from Jack Eilef. Eilef has got the pressure now of Monza, Kinmark, Hanna, Mittinen, and Drummond just behind as changes coming in. Down the inside, looked like Alphonse Mittinen making the move there. Same with Salim Hanna. Oh, there's 2 cuts off. They're on top of each other, the 26 and the 52. Who's that's gone off then?
It's
that was
Kamyab.
A little further back. It is.
So that is Kamyab tangling with Klara Kowalczyk.
Yeah.
So Kamyab isn't happy. Klara Kowalczyk is nonplussed. So I'm afraid the two drivers there out of the race. So that's Roman Kamiab from Britain and Klara Kowalczyk from Poland. They have collided into each other there at the S's Monza, having another go at Oliver Kinmark. So this is for 5th position. And he's got pressure of his own there from Zach Drummond, who has got back into the hunt once again. So Monza trying to work his way further forward, but that is Eilif now in 4th from Hanna, Kinmark, Monza, Drummond, Miettinen and Shin Zhao-Yu. And there is a great little tussle creeping up as now Drummond goes side by side with Monza, absolutely determined to squeak through. And now Kinmark manages to get through on Monza as well. It's a bit tricky because Miettinen was being a little bit too feisty on the inside there of Monza. Fortunately, the Singaporean was able to hold his own there quite neatly. So now Drummond has worked his way forward then into 6th position ahead of Kinmark, Monza, Shin Zhao-Yu, and then Busso, Miettinen, Ditiev and Bennett Gaspar.
Yep, lots of changes there in that mid-pack, but of course, while they're doing that, they just lose touch with the drivers in front here as Bondarev sets the fastest lap of the race, 49.808. He is driving away there from Nicolas Schaeffler. Nothing Schaeffler can do here whatsoever, but eyes are still on that massive train that comes into shot now at hairpin number 8 as they make their way through into the tight, twisty section, the Snell section, as I'm going to be calling it over the course of this weekend, as Salim Hanna trying to get a move done there on Jack Eilif is not going to work out. They are right there, right behind Mies Huben, but Huben is starting to break away. Here's a look at the start, and, well, that was a great start from Nicolas Schaeffler around the inside. Bondarev did his very best to hold on to that position. It would kick off further back, though, as, again, 3 or 4 drivers just getting involved there. And Harris Barryberg, Ethan Lennon, Thomas Gender, Kelleher, one of them as well, and all of them off the circuit, and none of them very happy. All of them explaining, well, it looked like 2 of them actually there were going for the DPK driver there to say that was your fault a little bit. But, you know, I mean, you don't know what happens until you see the replay back. Well, half race distance, and Bondarev doing a solid job here as Salim Hanna now finally gets the move done on Jack Eilif, and Eilif gets pushed back down in towards his teammate here of Zach Drummond. Drummond now with the slipstream will pull out of the slipstream, will he? Or no, he's going to stay behind his teammate. Smart driving there. He's going to work with his teammate Jack Eilif to try and close that gap back up again.
He's got to try and focus on the long game objective here. Now he dives to the inside of Eilif, so he wanted to find a clearer move. Then turn 1. That's where you put a lot of stress on your tyres, especially if you come off the racing line to make the overtaking move. So he wanted a little bit more of a natural move to follow in his arsenal there. He wanted to just give himself a little bit more room to play with. So Bondarev leading, Schaeffler in 2nd, Huben, Hanna, Drummond, Eilif, Kinmark and Monza in front of Alphonse Miettinen and Kirill Ditiev. So the top 10 still working together. Back on the inside comes Eilif. Tuning again for Drummond. Drummond's going to get back on the undercut. This is how it works, Jack. Follow me, says Zach Drummond. And as a result of that little squabble for positions, here comes Oliver Kinmark and Tiziano Monza. They want more.
Drummond wasn't happy there. He was saying to Eilif, come on, man, think. Let's
look
go
at that
for the
from
move.
Monza.
Yeah, Monza down the inside. Nice little overtake. And he will get that one sorted. Exactly what he needed to do. But like you say, they've got to work together. I think the heat is getting to a lot of these drivers now. It's getting very hot out there. Now, within the 30-degree temperature range, it is very, very warm. And there's not much wind out there either. It's certainly, temperatures are fraying, and there's not much these drivers can do.
That was such a smart move from Tiziano Monza to go through the second corner there to nip up the inside of Kinmark. That was some really smart driving. Didn't really think that one was going to work, and Tiziano Monza proved us wrong. So very nicely done from the Singaporean. Now he needs to tag onto the back of his sister Paralin drivers. You've got Drummond and Eilif right in front of him, and he now can use their slipstream to tag in behind them once again. There's the American, Jack Eilif, doing a good job so far, but Mies Huben is in 3rd position, still stretching away from the Colombian Salim Hanna as Bondarev bangs in a 49.5, really looking so strong and so confident out in front. This is where he can really put himself into the best frame of mind to tackle anything that comes his way, and it's looking good for 200 points out of 200 points.
Certainly is. Very solid performance here from Alexander Bondarev, doing exactly what he needs to do. And Alexander then gets pushed down into 2nd in the intermediate classifications, but he's only a couple of points behind. So this is going to make it very exciting going into the second half of the weekend. Remember, Saturday, superheats and finals as we go on to the final lap. Bondarev leads 1.1 seconds clear from Nicolas Schaeffler.
So they are on the final tour, and Bondarev just doesn't really have a weak spot this weekend so far. Certainly, practice was where they ironed out all the kinks. Friday is where they managed to get the job done in their time qualifying group, and ever since then, it's just been win after win after win after win. Schaufler, second place though, still trying to keep the pressure on. And Mies Huben, third position. He has just about dealt with Selim Hadar for the time being, but fifth place is still up for grabs. 3 Paralins and the Koski of Oliver Kinmark. Here they are. Drummond, Eilif, Monza and Kinmark. Who's going to make the final bid? Out in front, though, Bondarev, no arguments at all. He is large and in charge at the moment here at Cremona. He comes out of the final turn and over the line. A great job done then from Alexander Bondarev. Champions of the Future has always been his weak spot in 2023. Not at Cremona. He is in absolutely the right frame of mind, and he's doing a great job to bring it home. So win number 4. Nicholas Schaufler, Mies Huben, and Selim Hadar in the top 4 along with him. And some really exciting duels and some great battles all the way through the final laps of this race. Zach Drummond ahead of Tiziano Monza. So Monza managed to get into 6th position there on the last lap. Some good driving from the Singaporean all day long, actually. Out of 4 for Alexander Bondarev. Nicholas Schaufler in 2nd from Mies Huben. Selim Hadar in 4th place from Zach Drummond. Tiziano Monza with his elbows out all the way. Oliver Kinmark, Jack Eilif, Kirill Titiev and Bennett Gaspar in the top 10. Kian Fardin did a much better job. That's over the course of proceedings, as everybody has been in a very competitive frame of mind. Here's the replay of the highlights. Bondarev just waiting for his moment behind Schaufler, as Schaufler took the lead nice and early. This is a great little tussle in the middle of the top 10, but then it all just got a little bit too close for comfort, and it's here where it all kicks off. One kart goes forward, and then 1, 2, 3, bang. 4 karts all together. A lot of gesticulations, a lot of karts basically hitting each other in any one frame of mind. You can't really blame one driver over another there. Very unfortunate. But when you have that kind of amazing battle going into the first few corners, it's always very, very difficult to judge who did what to who. And so they've all had some pretty exciting runs throughout. So great to see the likes of the battlers from Mies Huben, from Zach Drummond, from Tiziano Monza, from Jack Eilif, from Selim Hadar. They all gave really good battles in the opening stages. Selim Hadar looked four-wheel drifting as he came through the final turn to put himself in a good position. Monza versus Eilif to the first corner. Great to see the Paralins keeping it nice and clean, but also very even out there. A lot of sportsmanlike driving amongst the Paralin drivers, even though they got held up by each other at a certain point. Then, unfortunately, Roman Kamiab tangling with Klada Kowalczyk. Ricky Flynn Motorsport versus CRG. There were a few other incidents to work up through the course of the race, but fortunately, most of the battles up front were full of drivers keeping it nice and clean out there on the course. It was hard and firm racing, but very even, and that's what we like to see whenever possible. Alfons Miettinen getting himself in the wars there. Unfortunately, the 49 got drifted off the road at exactly the wrong point, and that really didn't go the way it was planned for the Tony Kart factory team. I wasn't entirely sure who that was involved in that particular incident there, but it certainly took out one of the strong players over the sharp end of the field. I think that might even have been... well, that would have been one of the satellite teams, wouldn't it, to drift off the road? That was Murray Barryberg, I think, falling off at the final hurdle. However, no chance of any problems at the moment for Bondarev. 4 out of 4 for the Kart Republic.
Thanks, Jake. Yes, here with our race winner from that one, Alexander Bondarev. Well, Ollie, it seems to be going your way this weekend. 4 for 4 in your heat wins. You've got one more to go today, and you were just saying to me that it's against Dritan Langendonk and he starts on pole. So you've certainly got a challenge ahead of you, but how have you been feeling?
Yeah, the pace this weekend feels quite good. After I had some problems on this track, so we didn't come very confident into this weekend. But I feel like now I have a lot of confidence, so I'll try to do the same in the last heat today.
Yeah, exactly. Lots to do still. Tomorrow is going to be a different day, super heats and finals. At this rate, you're looking like you'll be starting on pole for the super heat. So from there, this track, you've been okay with trying to get past people, but how is it at defending against people?
I think it's not so difficult. I mean, it is quite hard because there's one line of grip, and then if you go off it, you'll have troubles with finding traction in the X of the corner. But I think that I'll not have problems with having to defend my position.
Well, let's see what happens later on this weekend. But we'll see you out there later on today. Best of luck and congratulations for another race win.
Yep.
Excellent stuff there from Alexander Bondarev. Well, once again, that temperature rising. I'm going to need to put some sunscreen on these legs of mine, but we've got more races to go. Jake, we'll head back up to you.